Imagine being the first Australian woman to be sentenced to life imprisonment without parole. Damn. All right. So you would wonder, what would you do in order to be sentenced to never be able to see the light of day? Okay. So what happened was, this is her story. All right. That didn't make sense, but let's go with it. All right, so Catherine Knight, she was a troubled child from the beginning when she was born on October 24th of 1955 in Tenterfield, New South Wales, Australia. She was raised in a very dysfunctional household, beginning with her mother. She committed adultery with Knight's birth father. So basically, not only was her dad an alcoholic, but her own mother would talk about her sex life to her daughter, basically giving all the needy little details of saying like how her dad are like her. Even though like yes, they're
What?
married, but her mom would specifically talk to her daughter of all the sex stuff that they would do. And I was just like, I don't want to talk to my mom like that.
I wouldn't want to hear that from my mom either. Like, what?
Yeah, imagine like, oh yeah, your dad has a big wanker.
Stop.
Oh,
That is no, no.
All right. From that early on, if your mom's already talking about you about that stuff, of course, like you're gonna grow up to be the. All right. So her her behavior would slowly start to escalate as she grew older. So she is quite the character. When she turned 15, she gained an employment as a cutter in a clothing factory, which is like, basically people who just start to cut clothing. She became fascinated with cutting and she even got promoted because she was so good at her job. So just remember that because in the end, it's going to matter. She was so intrigued, she was even obsessed with her job that she even went as far to hang knives above where she went to sleep. So basically, like, where you have your bed, the head thingy right here, she would have them hanging right there. She would have them hanging right there. And
damn, what if there's an
Dang.
earthquake?
I know,
I
right?
don't know, she was willing to take her chances. Yeah, cause imagine like I read that she had been doing that throughout her whole entire life eh, before she even went to prison. Like it was just she kept doing that. Like her husband's all let her, and but she's just crazy. All right, so even though her love for knives grew, her love itself it wasn't doing very well. So she she had quite a relationship. This girl, she went around. So
Just
she.
like knives. No, just kidding. Just
Yep.
kidding.
Alrighty, let's see. She married her first husband, David Kellick. He worked with her in the 1974, and when they got married, on their wedding day, the husband got some weird words or advice from her mom. All right. So it says, okay, so this is quote, "The old girl, which is Knight's mother, said to me to watch out. You better watch this one or she'll can kill you. Stir her up the wrong way or do the wrong thing and you're don't ever think of playing up on her, which is like cheating on her. She'll kill you." And that was her mother talking. She told me she's got something loose. She's got a screw loose somewhere. Yeah. Imagine like that's the first advice that your mother-in-law gives you on the day of the wedding, that
Like,
she'll
was this
kill you
before or like after they got married?
on the day of they got married.
On the day of,
Yeah.
I would have ran. I would have like peace. Like, there's no way I'm dying like that. Heck
Oh
no.
yeah. So yeah, I wouldn't know what to do if my mother-in-law said like, "Hey, he's gonna kill you if you like, you move your finger the wrong way."
Yeah, I would have left. What
Hell
would you do, Judith?
I wouldn't. I wouldn't even go to the wedding. Like, bye.
yeah.
No. Uh-uh.
She'll hide in her little
That's like,
closet.
yeah, because that's like their parents telling you that, like, okay, if the parents scared, then I should be scared. You know?
Hell
Right?
yeah.
Dang.
Damn. All right, but this is where it gets a little bit Weird. All right. So on the night of the wedding, like when they're supposed to make it official, I forgot what the word is. Like where they're supposed to like, wait, that's lesbians. Never
The
mind.
honeymoon?
A honeymoon?
Yes. So the honeymoon.
What?
All right.
Okay.
Comprehensible.
All right. So on the night of their wedding, Knight tried to strangle her newfound husband. She tried to strangle him
Oh my god.
on their wedding night just because he fell asleep after they did the third time of intercourse.
Oh my
Third time?
The
god.
third time. So apparently she wanted more. She was that into it and she was just like, "Oh, he fell asleep. Oh, hell no. I'm going to murder his
Damn.
ass. I'm not satisfied."
She choked him the wrong way. That's
Oh my goodness.
After many days and years of abuse, not from the husband, but from the wife. So from Catherine Knight herself, she abused this man. They even had a child. So she was pregnant and he couldn't take it anymore. He couldn't take it. So he left her the night before her baby was going to be born. And I think he ended up leaving with someone else. I'm not sure. I don't really remember, but he basically left her. He was just like, I can't take it anymore. Yes, she's pregnant. She's gonna have my baby, but I don't think it's worth it.
yeah.
So after that, Knight was admitted to St. Elmo's Hospital in Tamworth. So basically in Sesame Street. She got she got taken over. Just kidding. Okay, so the reason why she was admitted to the hospital was because many people have seen her trying to be violent with her newborn. So basically, she would be in the baby would be in the stroller, and she would just like move the stroller like crazy, and people were just like, "Oh God, that baby's in trouble." So they had to admit her to a mental institute so she can get the help that she needed. But that's not
What's
the
up, her
only
baby?
reason. The baby's fine. Well, that I've read so far, when that happened, the baby was fine. I think she got taken to some other relatives. I'm not completely sure, but that wasn't the only reason. So apparently, when she was released, she went into town screaming that she would kill several people when she had an axe around. So she would be like swinging the axe
My
around,
god.
acting all crazy. I'm just like, why would they allow this woman out again if they see how crazy this girl is? Why would they do that? Oh my goodness. She was so mentally unstable. Like, I don't know how she got in away with so much. Damn.
Yeah.
All right.
I guess they had to take something like really big to actually like get her, either in a hospital or in jail. Because
Hell
they
yeah.
like they just kind of like let it pass. Like they're just like, oh, that happened, but it's like, oh well.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like that's crazy.
Well, she had few relationships here and there. So apparently she still went out with other men and she had other children with these other men. But of course, because she was
What?
so abusive, yeah, I think she had like two or three more after this next guy that I'm about to show you guys.
Were they like in the
Wow.
same like town or were they like in different towns, like the guys?
I think they were in the same town, like around the same area.
What? Like, did they not hear about it? Did they miss the news or what?
I guess not.
I'm dating the girl that was swinging the axe.
I don't remember
What?
because their relationship was the same thing as Kellett's, so I wasn't really
Mm.
paying attention to theirs. But basically, it would be the same thing: abuse from her end. She would get pregnant, and it wouldn't work out. They would leave her. It was just the same thing over and over again with these men, and I'm just like, oh gosh, okay,
Yeah.
all right, but all these relationships, bam, out the window. But this is a relationship that was the most memorable. This is John. John, he was already a dad of three before he even met her. So two of his children lived with him, and one other one I think lived with his ex-wife or ex-girlfriend. I'm not sure who she was. But he already knew of her violent behavior. So imagine, like, he already knew how crazy she was, and he was still tempted to just be like, ooh. So he even, since he knew about her violent behavior, I don't even know why he even asked her to move in with him and his kids in 1995. So basically, the year that I was born, he was just like, "Okay, crazy lady, come live with my children. Come be a violent, abusive mother
Wow.
to these kids." But apparently, I don't. I think I read that she wasn't bad. Like the kids liked her, or I don't remember. But basically, it was okay with the kids. She was okay with the kids. But them, on the other hand, they would always be arguing, especially because she would always ask Price why they would never get married. Just because of
Mm.
that. So imagine those crazy girls like say like, "Why don't I have the ring yet? What's going on? Like, why or do you not love me? What is this what's going on? Is there someone else?" Like those kind of arguments that they would have. So she got so upset that he didn't ask her to marry her, and because of all the arguments, that she even went as far to frame Price at his job, and that got him fired. I guess like
Like
she got
what?
some
What did he say?
documents. I think she got some
Uh-huh.
documents and she like threw him away or something. I don't really remember. Basically she just framed him for something, and of course they didn't really believe him because it was such a big deal to the corporate or something like that. They had to fire him. But on that same day, he kicked her out of the house. He kicked her out. He was just like, "I can't take this anymore. I'm sorry, but you're out. You got to find something else. Like, I can't deal with this." But like every toxic lady, she always comes back. So apparently they had rekindled their relationship, and the argument will never stop. It was so bad that Price, the husband, the guy, he even went as far to receive a restraining order for her on February 29th of 2000. And of course, like, every crazy lady, she didn't like that. All right, this is where it gets crazy. All right, so the next morning, she would commit the most atrocious act, leaving everyone shocked. Everyone who saw the news, they were like, "Oh," because it was so bad. I don't know how else to describe it. All right, so on the morning of March 1st of 2000, Price's employer noticed that Price never arrived to work. So I think he managed to get his job back or he got another job, but it wasn't very clear. But basically his employer saw that he wasn't there, and everyone knew how crazy Catherine was. He even on the day before he says, if I don't come to work, something happened to me, and it was because of Catherine. So everyone knew how crazy she was, and he himself, Price, ended up saying that. So when his employer came to his house, he was very nervous. He saw that his car was still in the driveway, so he knew that he still had to be home. But Price was very good, like on time. He was apparently a very good employee, and that's why it like raised concerns that he didn't call or say like, "Hey, I can't come into work because I'm sick," or like anything like that. So he grew a little nervous seeing that his car was still there. So he noticed that Price's neighbor was also there, and they started tapping on the window to see if he would answer, but there was no answer. It wasn't until they went to the front door that they immediately saw blood, and they had to call the police because they're like, "Oh shit, there's blood. There, I can't. Like this is not good." Once the police arrived, it was just a mess. So turns out Knight has stabbed Price 37 times. She skinned him, like literally took his skin off of his body and hung it on the meat hook in the lounge room. When they found Catherine, she was laying on the floor and she was passed out. She had tried to take a lot of pills trying to like end it all, I guess, like commit suicide. And I guess that still like she was just unconscious.
Mhm.
When they went into the kitchen though, that's when they found Price's head inside a pot on top of a stove and it was cooking. And parts of his body were cut up and they were about to be served to his children. Like basically she already had the
Ew.
plate cut up, all
Ew.
the veggies cut up and like it was all there. Like how mentally deranged do you have to be to cut your lover up and make a stew out of him? Like seriously. All right, I'm gonna
Okay.
tell you guys the descriptions of what everything said. So like look at the blood on this. Look at that. Look at the blood. That's how much blood they found. Like these two are actually like crime scene photos from
Is that
that.
inside that little closet,
I
or is
think
that at?
that's the hallway to the kitchen. I think that's the hallway to the kitchen. I'm not so
Oh
sure.
Oh my
crap!
god.
Yeah, but damn.
Damn.
Yeah, that is yeah. So all right. So let me read this the finer details of what happened. So it says that, quote, she had stabbed Price with the butcher's knife while he was sleeping. According to the blood evidence, he awoke and tried to turn the light on before attempting to escape, while night chased him through the house. He managed to open the front door and get outside, but either stumbled back inside or he was dragged back into the hallway, where he had finally died after bleeding out. Later, she went into Aberdeen and withdrew $1,000 from Price's ATM account. End quote. So what I read was that on the night before she killed him, they ended up having sex. So he was knocked out on his couch watching TV and he fell asleep while drinking alcohol. And I guess she got into his house and took a shower and they were just like, "Hey, let's have some sexy time." And they did. So
Mhm.
when he fell asleep, she started stabbing him. So imagine to the shock that she just like you just wake up and you're in pain because you've been stabbed. So that's why he ran out trying to like get help, but I guess the wounds were too bad that he couldn't really that he got empowered. So it also says, okay, that it has been revealed that he has been stabbed at least 37 times in both the front and back of his body, with many of the wounds extending into vital organs. Several hours after Price had died, she skinned him and hung his skin from a meat hook on the architrave of a door to the lounge room. She then decapitated him, cooked parts of his body, serving up the meat with baked potato, pumpkin, zucchini,
My
cabbage,
god.
yellow squash, and gravy in two settings at the dinner table, along with notes beside each plate, each having the name of one of Price's children on it. She was preparing to serve his body parts to his children. A third meal was thrown on the back lawn for unknown reasons, and it is speculated that Knight had attempted to eat it but could not, and this has been put forward in support of her claim that she has no memory of the crime. Do you know how messed up you would have to be to say, like, I don't remember killing this man? She did all of
Yeah,
this.
she's lying.
I
It,
guess at a certain point, like people who like murder, like I feel
mhm.
like if they get like a rage, that they just kind of like black out and like they just want to like kill somebody or skin them or whatever. It's like
Yeah.
so
Turn
they
into
don't
Hulk.
remember, they just black out and they act upon like what they think is right.
Mhm.
I do believe that because I mean you've seen people like they drive without remembering how they got there, like to their house.
Yeah.
It's possible. It's possible and it's fucking scary.
Yeah, that is true. But what she's saying that she doesn't remember, I don't think like
I mean, she set up a whole ass table.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it gets to the point where like you actually know what you're doing after like it happened. Because
I
if
guess it's too late.
Like it wasn't
It
just like
was too
also
late.
random things set up on the table. It was like a whole like meal planned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right, it
Damn.
says that Price's head was found in a pot with vegetables. The pot was still warm, estimated to be at between 40 and 50 degrees Celsius, indicating that the cooking had taken place in the early morning. So that morning that um, the neighbor and the boss found the blood, that morning she was cooking his head. Yeah, sometime later at night, arranged the body with the left arm draped over an empty 1.25-liter soft drink bottle with the legs crossed. This was claimed in court to be an act of defilement, demonstrating Knight's contempt for Price. Basically, she she tried to violate his body by putting something in there.
What? She was trying to
So
stuff him. Oh my
I
god.
I guess so, like a turkey, but oh gosh.
Jeez.
She even had left a handwritten note on top of a photograph of Price, blood-stained and covered with small pieces of flesh. The note had said, "Time got you back, Jonathan, for rapping," which is like raping, "my daughter, you to Beck, Price's daughter. For Ross, for Little John, his son. Now play with Little John's dick, John Price."
What?
She can't
Wow.
she can't spell apparently, or can't even complete her sentences. The accusations in the note were found to be groundless. So basically, they don't know if like what she wrote was true or not. So basically, it says that John raped her daughter and Beck, which is also Price's daughter. So, but they don't know if it's actually true, if he actually did that, or it was just her in her moments of like craziness, because she she's just crazy. So on November 8th, was charged to life imprisonment simply because she has never shown any type of remorse for what she had done. That the judge was so horrified by the crime that he ordered her papers to be marked never to be released. She even went as far to say that she didn't even remember what she had done. But imagine, even the judge himself said that this woman is to never be released, no matter what. I think I read that she even tried to have some appeals, but they were just like, we ain't doing that. Like, why would you
Yeah.
want this lady like running around loose when even before this happened, like she had many signs of like mental illness and she was violent. All right, girl,
She
next
looks
slide.
like a killer in that picture. Look at those eyes.
Every picture I've seen of her, like she looks
She
just
looks
out.
scary. Yeah,
Yeah.
like void.
Yeah. Well, in the end of the life that was lost was a father of three by the name of John Price, a man who did his best to save his family from a woman with so much rage hidden inside of her that consumed her entire being. So, the night before he got killed, he sent his kids, I think, either to their neighbors or to a family members of his because he didn't want Knight to be in the house while he was at work and the kids were just there. So,
Damn.
yeah,
Wow.
he ended up saving his kids. That's what a lot of people believe, that he ended up saving his kids by letting them not stay with him for a little bit while all of that
Yeah.
was going on. And
Yeah.
I think that was responsible because not a lot of people would do that. They would just like be like, "Oh, it'll be fine. They won't do nothing." But when something does happen, like, you know,
Imagine, I mean, he saved the kids, but he also saved like their trauma. Because imagine if they would have been there. Like, there's a possibility that she might have not done anything to them. But imagine, like, you as a child waking up and finding your dad the way that she left him.
that's
Like, that
true.
would have scarred them for life. That would have been, like,
Yeah.
traumatizing for them.
Hell yeah. That, oh my goodness.
That's
Yeah, I can
crazy.
only imagine like what they felt like after hearing that their dad died, and in such a gruesome way.
Hmm.
Like usually, you know how the police are supposed to be the ones telling you like, "I'm sorry for your loss. Your father passed away. Someone murdered him. I hope they didn't give the details of how, but I'm pretty sure
I
they're gonna
hope
see it
not.
in the news because it was
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they
everywhere.
saw it. Yeah.
It was everywhere. Like how sick, and then that the lady was going to give you a meal of your dad's meat. Imagine how you would have felt. I would have felt sick to my stomach because I would like if I pretended like nothing happened and then she gave me food that I didn't know had my dad's meat in it. I would just like, oh no, I would pass out.
Didn't know until you found out, like way later.
Yeah, I think
You
most
were
of these
like, this is
stories.
the best meal of my life.
Ew.
That's an
So
almost
With
that's
story
the
next.
gravy.
Steven would love it. He's over there trying to eat everybody.
He said specifically not the head.
Oh,
Yeah, but
okay.
everything else is fine. Wow.
Hmm.
Oh my goodness. All right. So, you must
Why
be
is she still
wondering.
smiling at 60?
Hell yeah, look at this. She is a 65-year-old woman right now. I think she is alive still to this day. She is 65 years old. She is currently serving her life imprisonment at Clarence Correctional Center. Do you believe that she has any remorse for what she did?
No.
Not with that smile on her face.
Well, with
She was she was sick since the beginning. I believe that she was sick. I think it would
yeah.
have been different if they would have had kept her like in an institute like for
Mhm.
life
Yeah.
there rather than just be like, "Oh, she's fine now." Like let her go again. It's like
Hell
she's
yeah.
going to do the same thing. Scary though. Like
Yeah.
that the smiles from the previous pictures too, like she looks scary.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, she
Apparently
got she got the eyes of a psychopath.
that's almost every white woman that you see.
Oh, oh,
It's true
There's
I didn't say
some
that.
though.
Oh my god. Girl, you're white. What you talking about?
I'm Mexican. I just like my people were colonized.
uh-huh.
So apparently she is thriving at the center. Everyone loves her in it. They even call her Nana.
Oh no, she about to kill them all in their sleep.
Apparently, I guess her hatred is mostly only for men because she has known to be
Yeah.
aggressive towards only men.
Oh,
But
That's what I
I
was
get
gonna
it.
say.
Like, yeah,
it's like
like,
one of those dogs that hate like men or like certain type of people.
yeah, I guess she just got
She's
triggered. Yeah, because ever since she was little, her dad was abusive and an alcoholic. So I guess that's where her hatred for men started. But like
Mhm.
even because of how she grew up in a, like a hostile environment, that she wasn't able to really contribute to like anything with love. It was just
To
mostly
be honest, I think it was her mom's fault too because like at the
mhm
beginning, right, you said that she would tell her about like when she got,
yeah.
you know,
mhm
it's like it started at a young age.
mhm
Like
Mhm.
even like we have kids, right? Like if I were to tell my kid like you hate like let's say water, it's like they're gonna grow up hating water because their example, which is me, it's like I'm telling them to hate water.
yeah
It's like they're not gonna know otherwise, like because all of her relationships in the like later on were basically she thought they were abusive, but it was her the one that was abusive.
mhm
So it
Mhm.
was just like it was just like a dominoes effect, like literally it was. Yeah,
hell yeah
I feel bad for her. Like, imagine being that young and hearing all that stuff.
yeah
Yeah, that's probably traumatizing. Yeah.
but at the same time I
Yeah.
can't really like can't really say, oh, I feel bad because you killed someone because you didn't get the help you needed. But I guess
I
at the
feel
same
bad for
time,
child her.
yeah,
Yeah.
child her, yes, not her now. Like screw you.
No.
Oh my.
Uh, but yeah, apparently like she can't even work in the kitchen because like do you remember how she has
Oh
her
my.
love of knives and
Oh my
how
god.
skilled she was? Yeah, so she's not allowed in the kitchen. She's not allowed anywhere near knives. But other than that, they really love her and call her Nana. Like I remember
Mhm.
reading something about some of the people like recently they're just like, how do you feel when you heard about what she had done? I think it was just like her boss or coworker or something like that. He was just like, yeah, it's very sick, but I'm actually pretty like like I forgot the word he used, but basically he said like he was impressed by her skill of how she cut his skin off.
Oh my god.
I'm just like, why would you say that? Why would you say that to a reporter saying that you were impressed by her skill work?
I mean, it is impressive, because like it takes a lot of practice. Like a lot
She
of
was
people, like,
naturally a butcher.
yeah, she knew what to do.
Yeah, but oh
She
my
knew
goodness.
exactly what to do at that point.
I know. That sucks though. Yeah. What about you guys? You guys who are watching this, what do you think? Do you believe that she feels any remorse? You let us know.